Wash over me music, bathe me in your melody. We are such a blessed tribe, sweeter than a million bees. People live 1,000 lives, I never feel this free. Million people coming down, dancing to a song. Love is life and life is love, blessings from above. Can you feel the love that's in the air? Well, if you feel it, let me hear you say, dancing, moving, moving everywhere. If you feel it, let me hear you say, na 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 na, eh na 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 na. Na 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 na, eh na 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 na. Can you feel the love that's in the air? Dancing, moving, moving everywhere. Wash over me, take me to the river, take me to the river. Wash over me, music, wash over me.
Okay. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Zakia Gill. I am the project coordinator for Project Elevation. I just want to say good morning to everyone on the Zoom. Good morning to everyone on Facebook Live. Thank you for joining us for the 5th session of Talk Your Mind segment, which is a part of our Project Elevation, Mentorship, and Spoken Word program. Project Elevation is powered by I Believe in Success Foundation, Maguire Youth Foundation, Narivamia District Youth Council, and myself, Zakia Gill. We are sponsored by Unocoma, TNT, Mayara Positive, Trinidad Youth Council, and SNS Facades. So joining us today is a very special young lady who I am very, is an honor to introduce her. Very vibrant, she's very involved in youth work and very passionate about youth in general. So I'd like to welcome the Honorable Shamfa Cudjoe, the Minister of Sports and Community Development and also Member of Parliament for Tobago West. Good morning, Minister. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Zakia, and good morning to the entire team at Project Elevation. It's indeed a pleasure to spend my Saturday morning with you, and I must first and foremost commend you for the amazing work that you're doing with these young people. We as government like to say, oh, young people are our greatest resource, or people are our greatest resource, and we all must continue or strive to do our very best to invest in our people, and especially our young people, not only leaders of tomorrow, but leaders of today. So I am pleased to be here and to just share my Saturday morning with you, and I'm happy that you're sharing your Saturday morning with me. In life's journey, everybody we meet, everything we encounter, every event that we participate in is meant to build us up in some way or the other, meeting new friends, meeting new people, learning of new perspectives, developing our minds, filling up our cups so that our cups overflow so we can share with others. So I'm happy that you and your team were able to pull together a camp for these children in a time like this. Oftentimes, we found since the onset of the whole COVID situation, many groups and many youth organizations, even community organizations, village councils and so on, have found it difficult to keep meeting, to keep the energy flowing, to keep the fire burning, because we have become so used to and so accustomed to socializing face-to-face, meeting at a community center, meeting at a classroom or wherever. So it's now about adopting this new way of communicating and keeping people on board and keeping people alive. Because even as we self-isolate to fight this COVID situation, sometimes we cut off or we lock off ourselves from others. And that, whilst there are some benefits, because you have some more time to think and to grow, there are also so many disadvantages by not being able to share with others and to learn from others and to keep each other positive, alive and strong. So I just really want to salute you and the entire team and all the sponsors, all the other ministers and stakeholders who came on board to participate. I really want to congratulate you to the parents and the children who saw it fit to enroll and to remain committed to showing up every Saturday and being a part of this wonderful initiative. I commend you. I give you a hearty round of applause because you are investing in yourself. You're investing in a better future for these youngsters. You're investing in taking your family to a whole next level as it relates to empowerment, doing what you want to do, being who you want to be. And so I commend the parents and the children for using your time wisely. As an advocate for youth development and youth empowerment, I like to encourage young people to use every opportunity to build yourself, to listen, to learn, to read, to impart knowledge, and to open up to receive knowledge also. We're living in a time where our growth, our mindsets are affected not just by what we tell ourselves, but by what other people have to say. And there are so many other people out there, whether it's through social media, people you've met in your life, people in your family, who have so much to say, oftentimes so much negativity to share around. You have to remember to protect your heart and guard your head. Remember to stay focused. Remember who you are, what you stand for, what you're working on, what you're trying to achieve and accomplish in your life, to set high standards, to dream big dreams, dreams that make you uncomfortable, dreams that make the people around you uncomfortable. If the dreams that you are dreaming or the plans that you have set out for yourself don't make you feel a little uncomfortable, like, I can really accomplish that, boy, then you're not dreaming big enough. So I like to challenge young people, challenge or children to think about whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you want to be, the type of investment and contribution that you want to make in your community. And don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot be great. Oftentimes we confine ourselves to small roles or to a little box or to a really weak way of life where we feel like we can't be great, we can't be excellent. And that is not true. Anything that you could believe, you could achieve. Anything you put your mind to, anything you work towards, you can accomplish. It all begins in your mind. It all begins with what you think, what you say to yourself. From different religious backgrounds we've come, but I can speak about the Christian religion where we say in the beginning God said let there be light, and there was light. So we have to first say positive things and speak of light in our lives and use all light to defy darkness or outshine darkness. Each and every one of us have a light, something positive about us to share with the entire world. Each of us have a purpose. Every day God wake you up in the morning, there is something that you have to do, a contribution that you have to make in this world.
So you have to go out there and be brave, be courageous, be confident in your very own existence, and not be sidelined or distracted or pulled up by what anybody else has to say to you or about you. In everything that we do, there is winning, there is failure, but we have to look at how we wrap our minds around what people say is failure. I believe in life that I either win or learn. I don't ever fail in everything I do. We either win or learn. We win when we've accomplished what we set out to accomplish, and we learn when we didn't accomplish what we set out to accomplish, but we learn how not to do that thing we try to do, or we learn new tricks and new strategies of how to get to our goal or how to reach that accomplishment quicker, faster, better, you know? So always think about, this is where I'm at right now. What is that next level I want to accomplish or achieve? How do I get there? And start working on your next step. So I know we have participants in this morning's program from 5 to up to 25. So I know I'm speaking to a wide range, but I hope that no matter what age you are, that you can wrap your mind around you are beautifully and wonderfully made. You have purpose in this life. You have goals to accomplish. And no matter how big these goals are, you can accomplish these goals. Don't let anybody encourage you to settle for you can't do this or you can't do that, or John did this or Jill did that, so be like John or be like Jill. You are not here to be like John or Jill. You are here to be you and the very best version of you that you can possibly be. So reach for excellence. Never ever settle for what the person next to you is doing. Never ever settle for mediocrity. God didn't place us here to be mediocre. He wants us to be great, just like He is great. And you want to exceed your own expectations, the expectations of your family, your community, and really, really reach for the stars, reach for the sky in whatever you've set out to do. So I'm here this morning to just spread some positive energy to encourage you to wake up and shake up. No matter what is going on around you, we have the COVID situation, you can't go outside and interact with your friends as you would like to. But thank God we have social media, we have Zoom, and we have intelligent and inspiring leaders like Zakia Gill, who have come up with this outstanding initiative to shine some light in the lives of young people and to encourage you to keep the fire burning, reach for the stars, to start thinking even beyond this COVID situation, because COVID wouldn't last forever. At some point in time, it will end, and you will have the opportunity to go out there and be the best you that you can be. So think about that, plan for that. Think about what you want to do with your life and look forward to the future. So with those few words, I want to thank you for having me. I'm open to answering whatever questions and being a part of the conversation. I want to encourage everybody, Ali, Sydney, Jazara, Paul, 9 years, all the names that I'm seeing up on my screen right now. God bless all of you. I see you waving, Paul. And thank you for tuning in. Hi, Sydney, Ramdas. Hi, Ali. Hey, hi, everybody. It is an absolute pleasure to be here, and I really, really look forward to spending this beautiful morning with you. It's rainy, but we are going to have some fun. So let me shout out some of the names I'm seeing online. We have Jaden, Daniela, Wendy Anzaya, Takita Kamaru, Renalia, Damari, Alejandro, Patrick, Kian, Lewis, Preset Benjamin, Shahad. We have Raymond, Antoinette, the Antoinette brothers, Hayden Singh, everybody who's tuning in with us. Oh, there's some more people. Shana
Malaya Frederick. We have Damali. Who else we have? We have Malaya Wilson, Sandy, Deja Hackett, Whitney, Tiffany. Oh my God, so many of you. And if I haven't said your name, know that we recognize each and every one of you, all you boys and girls, all you young people who are tuning in with us today. God bless you. I look forward to having a fun-filled morning. Continue to reach for the stars, chase the dreams, dream bold, and chase those dreams relentlessly. So thank you for having me, Zakia. Thank you, everyone, and let the fun begin.
All right, Minister. Thank you very, very, very much. My first question for you, which is my personal question, because you know you're my favorite minister. I have said this many, many, many times. You're inspiration to me as a young lady. I always tell you that you really and truly inspire me to be myself and not to shrink and not to adjust. So my question to you this morning is, do you have any advice to any, especially young ladies, right? Just to encourage them to be themselves, not to shrink, not to fit into a box, not to accept mediocrity. Because we live in a world where they try to box us in. And it's like, oh, you're a young lady, so you can't do this, so you can't do that. Like, do you have any advice for anyone?
I think I like to start from the place of foundation of all of us being human beings and all of us being equal. Before I am a little boy or a little girl or a young woman or young man, I am a human being. And in every religion, in every ethnic background, there is some way or the other of saying, do unto others as you would like done for you, to you, yeah? So what you expect for yourself, the same type of treatment that you want for yourself as a human being, then you ought to extend that same type of treatment to others, whether it's man, woman, boy, or girl, yeah? So if a man could accomplish something, then a woman can accomplish something too, that same thing. If a boy could achieve something, a girl can achieve that too. We are first human beings, and it is how we think, how we program ourselves, the goals that we set for ourselves, how we cultivate ourselves, that determine how far we get in this life and the type of matrix that we develop as we build or as we go along a journey in life. So whatever it is you dream for yourself, anything you put your mind to, you can achieve it. Anything you put your mind to. So it's about firstly knowing who you are and knowing what you want for yourself and not letting anybody around you knock that out of your head or try to distract you or try to lead you down another direction. You have to first say, I am Zakia Gill. This is my life. This is what I want for my life. And remain focused on that goal. Because other people will come with different opinions and different directions that they think that you could go, you should go, but that is what is best for them from their angle, where they see it. Where you stand, you know the goals that you have set for your life, you know your goals and what you want to accomplish. It's about remaining focused, remaining determined, being willing to persevere until you achieve every single goal that you have set out for yourself, whether it is academic, athletic, something relating to money, relating to your health. It all starts and ends with you. Let me say that again, it all starts and ends with you. But sometimes we say it starts with me, and then it ends up ending with somebody else, because somebody else gives you an opinion on what they think you should do. It starts and ends with you and the vigor and the zeal and the hunger that you have for whatever it is that you have set out for yourself. You trust yourself, you trust in your God, and you push until you accomplish whatever it is that you have set out for yourself.
Right. Thank you so much for that response, Minister. just a question that came off Facebook. Someone would like to know, how do you deal being in government and public life, right? How do you deal, and even in your personal life, how do you deal with negative comments and naysayers? And you are one of the most positive human being I've ever encountered. So how do you remain so positive despite of?
First and first, I don't take it personally. This is the nature of people and the nature of many of our people, unfortunately, to always look for what is negative, to criticize. And I've been victim of a lot of that over the years, but it's about guarding your head and not letting negativity into your space, not letting negativity into your head. If somebody has pointed out a mistake or something that can be done better, I think about, okay, where I'm at right now and how do I get to the next position? How do I make it better? I try to think that everybody being inherently good and positive. And oftentimes we get sidetracked and go down the gutter into nastiness. But you are what you let into your head. So the only light to cast out darkness. Yeah? If somebody sheds darkness, if I go and add some darkness to that too, it would be just more darkness. And that does no good for anybody. You know, so it is my duty always to shed light. I know it starts and ends with me. So I have to always remember to keep a positive head, remember to share love and show love to others. So if you stop for a moment and sit down and just absorb all this negativity, you're gonna waste time and energy being negative yourself, because that sends you into a worrying and a depression and all of what they said about what they say about you is not your business. What people have to say about you is not your business. It is what you tell you, what you say to yourself, what you think about yourself. You go to school, people call you fat, people call you ugly, people say you're lame, you're a joke. That is their business. But that's not what I tell myself. I wake up every day knowing I am a child of the Most High King, that I have work to do in this life, and I have to remain positive to do that work, and I have to be the best me that I can be. I choose happiness every single day, no matter what the circumstance is. I choose happiness is a choice. You could either look at the glass as half full or half empty, and you make your choice. But I try not to ever willow in negativity and try to lift the spirit of the people I have the opportunity to influence. I look at, for instance, the media today. Yesterday we had handing out of self-help checks at in Shagona. Last month there was a storm and many people, homes got damaged. And I'm saying to those people, you must be thankful. Thankful firstly for life, because this could have ended differently. In other countries, we've seen where natural disasters ended up with the loss of lives. And reminding them to be hopeful in a time like this. You have people who would have lost their jobs, would have lost their income. But here we are, we're still alive. Once you have life, there is hope. We also have a government that is offering that type of a social assistance to help different people get on their feet. There are some countries right next door that don't have that. So we have to look at half full rather than half empty and go from a place of positivity towards building and rebuilding our lives. And there are people who took that to mean something negative. And today, even in the media purporting something negative to say, Shamfa, say, take where you get and be happy. You know, and that's their opinion of what I said. At the end of the day, what is always good and what is always beautiful about life is that the truth has a way of always coming to the light. It could be 2, 3, 4, 5 years later. Truth and light. Darkness cannot outshine light. Evil cannot outshine good. No matter how long it takes to recognize it. And that's how God made this world. So I rejoice in that, the peace of knowing that, you know, that light lives, light shines, good overcomes evil every time, no matter how long it takes, you know? So it's a choice. It's to choose positivity and to choose happiness. It's a choice. Every time
Yeah.
you blink, Zakia, you don't have to open back your eyes. There's somebody somewhere in the world that this was their last blink, and you've been given more life by the Creator to blink some more time. I give thanks to every blink, you know. I give thanks to that. Yeah.
Thank you for that. You're right. Life is about choices. Just to the participants on Zoom, remember you are free to ask Madam Minister. You could just raise your hand. I will acknowledge, or Patrick will acknowledge you, or Curtis will acknowledge you, and we'll unmute your mic and we'll allow you to have your question to Minister. Minister, just two questions. One coming from Facebook again. Someone wants to know, did you always want to be a politician? Or I know the answer to this, but do you always want to be and if not, what was your dream job for those who don't know?
Okay. Oh my God, it's so many. When I was young, I wanted, at different stages in your life, you want to be all kinds of things. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a calypsonian at once. Yes, I like a black man and I really wanted to be a
Wow, okay.
but then later on, when I was in my fifth form, I wanted to be a meteorologist. I wanted to tell the weather news because at that time you only had men in that. I think it was Gideon Hanuman Singh was a weatherman in those days. And I said, no, we should have a woman as the telling the weather news. So I wanted to study that, but my parents didn't have the money to send me off to uni. We didn't have weight in those times. So I went on to sixth form and I got involved in youth work. I won an essay writing competition and went on to Hawaii to the United Nations Millennium Young People's Congress. And then met other young people wanting more for their country and, you know, promoting youth development. When I returned home, I worked with youth groups to develop the Tobago Youth Council, to reestablish the Tobago Youth Council. And there my passion for youth development and youth empowerment came. And I wanted to be a foreign service officer and ambassador. My grandmother always used to tell me that as a child. She let me read the news to her every Sunday. She was a seamstress, and I would sit at the sewing machine while she sews and read the news to her. And she always used to say, "You're going to be an ambassador," you know. And I didn't know what it meant, but that's what she wanted for me. So I always had a passion for current affairs, public relations, and most importantly, developing young people. When I came back from studying international affairs in the US, I rejoined the Tobago Youth Council and I had the opportunity to speak at a business forum that the Tobago House of Assembly was having. And they asked me, hey, could you speak on behalf of the youth? Could you join our party? And I joined, and from there, the rest is history. I was asked to enter the Senate at the time when we were in opposition, and I took the opportunity because I wanted to speak on behalf of young people and use the opportunity to show that you didn't have to come from a political background or wealthy family or family that had a long history in politics. I had the opportunity to share and to make and to influence the decision-making process on behalf of Tobagonians and young people, and I just took it and ran with it. After that, I was voted into office as a member of parliament for Tobago West in 2015, and again, I was re-elected in 2015 for another 5 years in 2020 for another 5 years to serve as member of parliament for Tobago West. So I'm really humbled by that.
One thing that I always admire about you is you are an excellent orator. And this is coming from the performer side of me, from a poet. And I really remember the very first time I heard you spoke, I was like, is Madam Minister Cudjoe? Does she have any hidden spoken word abilities in her? So before I bring on Mr. Patrick Phillips, who is a youth leader in the Miaro constituency, because he would like to ask you a question personally, I just want to ask you, Minister, any hidden talent? Because it's a chill session. Could you do a poem, a spoken word?
Actually, I never saw myself doing spoken word, but I'm from Bethel Village in Tobago, and Bethel Village has a very strong history of speech band. And that's a really unique part of the Tobago culture. So I went to Montgomery School where we used to practice or play speeching off each other during the recess time. So I think it started there. And then, of course, being a part of a sorority in the US is a major part of my passion for chanting or for that. I grew up being an avid calypso lover, and I listened to people like Brother Resistance throughout the years. I listened to so many people who have influenced the art form. And I think that if I can remember something in a poem or in a song, if I can put something in a poem or a song, I can remember it. And then other people catch on to it. And when I speak, I want people to remember and to take the message to others. So no better way to do so than through poetry or in a way that people could say, they may not remember everything you said, but they may put 2 lines that rhyme and run with it,
Because way back in, probably it was, I don't know, was it 2015 or 2016? It's the very first time that I met you personally, and you said something, and it resonated up to today, and it was in the manner in which you said it. You probably may not even remember when you said that no way Jehovah created you, us, all of us here, to be mediocre. Why should I shrink myself? And I was like, why should I stop and respond to dream killers? And so just even so I'm just saying that you are reaching people, you are influencing people. I can speak for myself. You are a huge influence over my life as a young lady. I hope one day to meet you in Parliament.
Thank you. That would be good. And that's the aim, to get more young people inspired to want to speak for themselves and to get to Parliament and to lead our development. That is so very important, to touch lives that way, to see people like you in Parliament and influencing the lives of young people. And right here is where it starts.
Right. So I just want to welcome Mr. Patrick Phillip. He is the president of My Guaya Foundation. He's also the PRO of Project Elevation. So he has a question for you, Minister.
Hi, Mother Patrick.
Hi, good afternoon to you, Minister. My question to you would be, as a youth leader within my community and with all the hats that I hold at a community level, what advice could you give on youth leadership?
On youth leadership, it's important that youth leadership lead youth. Oftentimes we're youth leaders and we learn so much and we get access to so many opportunities, but we forget to share. We have to remember to share the information and partner knowledge and bring more young people on board. Because at this age and at this stage, you are making that transition into adulthood. So at some point in time, you're going to get on to doing what you want to do with your life, whether it's your dream job, whether it's getting into politics, whether it's going abroad to study, or taking an opportunity in the United Nations with some organization, or even starting a family, because oftentimes when we start a family, we take some time off to spend time with that family, and sometimes if you don't have a proper succession plan, then the whole fight could be dropped because you hung with them and you didn't share, you didn't partner, you didn't bring others on board. So we have to remember youth leadership is about leading youth, and it's a lot of work involved to get young people on board, to get them to think positively and to develop that positive spirit and positive energy, to develop the courage and confidence to speak on issues and not be dragged down into party politics at this stage. To remember to use the opportunity to really make an investment in young people and in changing their lives. For me, right, I want people to think about
what is best for them? What is best for you? When you go out there to vote, when I go out there to ask for vote, I don't say, vote for me because I want you to vote for me. No, I want you to figure out, what do you want for yourself? Where do you see yourself? And what's the road or the avenue for you getting to where you want to be in your life or doing what you want to do? At the end of the day, it's about touching hearts and changing lives and getting people to be who they want to be, to not so much depend on me or the government or anybody, because everybody is blessed with some skills to make them better and to lead that life that they want to lead. So my leadership has to be a source of education and empowerment, to letting people know that you can be great, you can do what you want to do, you can strive, you can lead, yeah? So that's the standpoint that I come from. And if, like I say in my constituency, people come to me, some constituents come from, I want a morning work, and I'm like, if you have subjects, so if you are sound in your mind and you can learn, or you have a dream to own a business or so, let's talk about developing that skill to own that business. Yes, CPEP may be in your sight, but it's a stepping stone. Don't build a career out of it. Think about what you really want to do. And once you have the ability to do something else to bring in more money, to really please your heart, don't settle there. Aspire towards that and push and move. And even if you weren't able to get to that, create a different pathway for your children. And I say so coming from experience. My mother was a development worker. It worked something like CPEP. Yeah, and where they work on the morning gangs and so on, sweeping the street and cutting the bush and so on. But she never wanted that for her children. So even if you end up doing that, it's about encouraging and inspiring people to think beyond what they see before their eyes and develop new goals and new dreams, big goals and big dreams for themselves, for their children and for the generations. And if you don't vote for me because I didn't get your CPEP work, then that's up to you. I'm trying to take you beyond that. Yeah. So it's not just about voting for me or supporting me. It's about supporting you and your growth also. So my advice to young leaders is to truly lead. Don't be afraid to do the work. Don't be afraid to take people with you and push them higher. Let them do what they want to do and be who they want to be. So they can look back and say, hey, you know, my story started when I spoke to Philip and Philip. Patrick said this or Patrick said that or Patrick directed me to X, Y, or Z. At the end of the day, you're going to fade from the story. And then that person's story is going to become a source of light to somebody else and somebody else. And that's what makes it beautiful.
Thank you very much, Madam Minister. I have, remember, Zoom participants, you are free to ask questions, because this is another question from Facebook that we got. Somebody wants to know if you are enjoying your new position as Minister of Sports and Community Development.
Ministry of Sport and Community Development. But I was at Sport and Youth before. I must say I do miss youth, but in Ministry of Sport and Community Development, I get the opportunity to interact with not just young people, also the movers and shakers within the community, helping them to develop their skills in entrepreneurship. My focus really is entrepreneurship and getting people to learn skills so they can bring in some more money and, you know, think at a community level where they can develop cooperatives and so on, using their talents to be great. As it relates to sport, we continue to invest in the athletes, providing facilities for them to train, providing funding so that they can chase their dreams, and working with national governing bodies to see athletic excellence. So it's a new marriage of sport and community development where we're trying to get more business-like or more professional in the communities, in the area of sport, using sport as a tool to drive their development. In Trinidad and Tobago, much of our sporting work is built around clubs, where you have to get the child to join a club. And oftentimes we miss out on skills and outstanding athletes at the community level. So this is about getting down into the communities. And with that said, I want to encourage people out there to participate in registering your group. Right now we have a registration drive going on in the Ministry of Sport and Community Development. Register your community group, register your sporting group. We also, since March 31st, have been circulating ways and means where groups can apply for funding, where athletes can apply for funding, utilize these avenues for athlete funding, for regular athlete funding. And even in saying that, for instance, you have our Olympic athletes who are out there right now doing their thing, trying their very best. We have invested in these athletes over the years through their national governing bodies and the Elite Athlete Fund. And for those who are not elite athletes, they have access also to the regular grant assistance, and even have community groups. I think a lot of sporting clubs don't make use of these facilities that are available to them. You have some who know about it and use it over and over, and you have some who don't at all. I see, for instance, some athletes complaining, oh, I didn't get any money. And you apply, you know? So we have to also remember that you have to apply for funding, and the ministry very happy always to provide that funding throughout the year. So in your communities, utilize the CARE program for your community group initiatives. For sports, utilize the nonprofit vote within the Ministry of Sport and Community, apply for these grants and move your communities forward. A lot of this starts with your investment in your community, where you have your community group. I remember growing up in Tobago, you had Sinclair Coaching School, you had Paradise Club, you have all these different entities. And even right now, you have people like Zenith Club and Memphis and so on. Utilize, organize yourselves, fill out your application, submit your application, and get the funding to provide the necessary resources and so on for your athletes. We have a role as government, but you have your role too. So we continue to work hand in hand and continue to be here for you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm multitasking here.
That's okay. That's okay.
Minister. Okay, so okay, hold up. So I have a few questions to get in, Minister. So I'm trying my best to see how I could compile them and compose them into one. They have a lot of questions they have for you. One person just
I'm willing to answer.
one person just want to say that she's really and truly enjoying this morning session. Is very inspiring. You're really, really inspiring her right now. So a question that was asked earlier, somebody wants to know what is the most common factor in empowering youth through sports? And I want to add on that, well, I am from Guaigua area, I'm from my area, which is very rural. Let me phrase this properly. What are some of the plans that the ministry have or initiative that could be taken to really develop sports in rural communities such as Mayaro, Guaiguayari, Beach, Rio Claro?
Well, at this point in time, we are working with community groups. I think the first thing you need to do is get registered and utilize the training offered by the ministry. Wherever you need funding, reach out to the ministry. Wherever you need not just funding, because we offer technical assistance too, where we sit with you and help you to develop your plans. And I think more groups need to reach out. More groups need to organize themselves also within their communities. We have, at this point in time, we cannot go outside and play. So we have a community sport program called SHAPE, right? And what SHAPE does is provide training and run community sporting activities and events. We haven't been able to go out there with the physical work yet due to COVID, and SHAPE was just established. No, but what we have been doing is the technical work. We have done so far, for this fiscal year, for instance, training for coaches. You have a lot of people saying, oh, I have a football group there or community group there, but your coaches are not trained or certified. We have done certification courses through our state enterprise, Sport TT, and through the ministry also, where we are looking at 300 people at a time in some of the classes, 120 in some of the classes. So we have coaching and coach certification taking place. We also have the administrative development taking place, where we teach you how to fill out forms, how to build your constitution, how to plan events for your community group, how to keep people on board during this whole COVID situation. You have also some community groups who are doing online mentorship programs and so on. We offer the financial and technical support as it relates to that too. So there are many people out there making all kinds of comments, but you have to ask yourself, what are you doing within your community? Where is your community group? Did your community group reach out to the ministry for assistance? And then also, it goes all the way back to culture. We must remember that the Ministry of Sport, our focus really is sport for adults. I mean, we work with the club. Sport for school-age children and for schools is under the Ministry of Education. And there's a specific unit and division for that with their own funding and their own budget and their own activities and so on. I think we also have a challenge with our culture, the way we're cultured. Some of us from rural communities could tell you that there are some parents, some teachers, some principals, and some people within our system who believe that participation in athletics is a distraction from the child's academic performance. How do we change that mindset? Or there are people who think, well, okay, if you're not doing good in your academics, we'll send them to do a trade or to do a sport. We have to remember at that level for parents that a good student can also be a good athlete, and a good athlete can also be a good student, and stop pulling children out of sport, thinking that sport is affecting their academic performance. We do that a lot to girls also, where they say, oh, sport is for boys, so let the boys and them play some football, and sort of pull girls out of sport, especially when they're approaching puberty. We are addressing that on our Pink Green campaign. So we have had these talks and these discussions and trying to change the culture, working with the national governing bodies so that they can develop programs geared specifically to get girls and women involved in sport and keep them in sport, and not just actively running and playing and participating in high performance competitions, but also being a part of the boards, being a part of the leadership, because as a woman sitting on the board, you get to address issues that affect women and girls. So for instance, right now we have Girls Run TT, encouraging women to get out there, get off the couch and get physically active, participate in a sport. So the national governing bodies are teaching girls and teaching women how to do their specific sport. In Trinidad and Tobago, some people see it as a blessing and some people see it as a curse, where we focus on over 54 disciplines in sport. Whilst in some other countries, they will focus specifically on athletics. You have in some countries like Jamaica, where some of the athletes run for secondary school scholarships and secondary school positions. So it's very competitive at that stage, where you have the alumni association, where past students and so on, they fund sports in their schools. They push athletics in their schools, so it's not solely a government type of thing. You have the communities involved, you have private sector on board and involved. So it's learning from the countries around us, making tweaks in how we do business, and making tweaks also in how we think from in our very homes. Can we as parents say, hey, each one of my, all my children have a sport. This one plays this one plays that, this one, y'all can't say that. Starts right there too, you know. So there's tremendous work to be done, but I must also say that we have made tremendous investment over the years to ensure that the athletes and the national governing bodies are funding and that they have a place to train. Like for instance, even when we had COVID last year, around March 30th,
the government said, okay, you can't go out and play, we had to close facilities. But as soon as it was June, we developed a policy and reopened these facilities for the athletes who were preparing for the Olympics. And since June 2020, these athletes have been training on these grounds and utilizing over 60 hours each week training. So we've made the facilities available for athletes to train, and they have been training. We have people like Jeremy Richards doing his training at Manny Ramjan up to 60 hours a week, 63 hours a week. And all the NGBs had the opportunity to train and still do from last year to now to train at the national facility. So it's making these little tweaks and ensuring that we keep the athletes and keep the sportsmen top of mind and provide the necessary assistance where we can. We also have in this country a rewards and incentive program where when they medal, they get money. World Championships, you get up to about $1 million. You have gold medals. You could get, I think, gold medals is either $675,000 or $500,000 at the Olympic stage, and we provide that reward and incentive. And this government did this policy as in 2018, 2017, 2018, and have been making those investments, athletes, giving them money to pay their coaches and so on through the Elite Athlete Fund and so on. So it's a lot that have been going on. So we want to encourage parents to encourage and keep these students in sport, and encourage teachers and principals to assist. For instance, if you have an athlete missing some classes due to having to participate in a sporting event, how do we help them catch up so that this whole idea that parents think that sport take their children away from academic work, that has to be changed, so we continue to work hand in hand and offer this assistance, and we are asking community groups and athletes also to access, reach out, apply, and we are always willing to help.
Okay, thank you very much, Minister. I know you're very supportive of athletics in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, especially our Olympic team. I have seen you, Team No Sleep. I'm not on that. I am not on that. I need to sleep. So so just switching gears a little bit. Somebody wants to know, sometimes we get extremely comfortable in mediocrity. How do you push yourself out of that comfort zone?
It's setting goals and not to be shy in setting these goals. If you set, and knowing that development is a continuous thing, because when you get to one stage, you have to now start thinking, how can I be? Is there a stage better than this? But think, just ask yourself, is there a stage better than this? And if the answer is yes, which oftentimes there is a stage better than the stage that you're at, how do I get there? And you develop a plan or a map as to how you get to your next stage. So you can never settle or be satisfied with being at this level. Like, for instance, I'm an MP, a member of Parliament to Tobago West, and there are some people say, okay, you should be thinking about the next level. You should be going on to think about being Prime Minister. For me, I want to be the best MP I can possibly be for my constituency. And if I came in with 9,000 votes this time, I want to see how can I beat that next time. And if I give help to get lights in 3 communities this week, I want to get them working to get lights in more communities next week. So for me, every heart that I touch and every life that I change in some small measure or the other is it's rewarding. It's rewarding for me, and I can't get enough of that. So if I can help one person move on, I can help 2, I can help 3, I can help 4, I can help 5, I can help 10, I can help 20, So for me, it's all, I can never settle with, okay, I'm good right here. There's always more to accomplish in whichever field. Like I jog, I like outdoor running, and the longest race I've ever done, I've done half marathon 4 times. I want to get to do my 5th half marathon and then move on to the marathon stage. Yeah. So as simple as that may seem like a silly goal,
but I want to get there. And every morning or every time I get out there, even if I did 4 miles today, I want to do 5 miles tomorrow, I want to do 7 miles, I want to do, yeah. So in every little thing that you do, always aim to do it better the next time, because you can. If it can be done better, if it could be done better, you could do it. Think about how to get there. You're on mute, Zakia.
Sorry. I apologize. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Minister. I know someone had unmuted their mic earlier. They had a question for Minister. I will invite the person to go ahead and ask her if they are still here.
My question was,
Hi,
You
introduce
always
yourself. She would like to know who she's speaking to. Go ahead. Go ahead.
you always wanted to be the Minister of Sport and Community Development?
Okay, and what's your name, my dear?
Camelia.
Camelia?
Yeah.
Okay, Camelia, thank you for answering your question, and thank you for being so brave. If I always wanted to be the Minister of Sport and Community Development, to be honest with you, no. I told you what I wanted to be before, and here I am in politics as the Member of Parliament for Tobago West. When you become a Member of Parliament, there is no guarantee that you're going to get to be a minister. That's on the Prime Minister. That's his decision to make. So out of all the people that are on his team, he then looks at who is the best person to put in this area or that area. So he selected me to be a part of his cabinet. And so here I am as a member of the cabinet. He has assigned me sport and community development. So wherever he assigns me, maybe he could change his mind tomorrow and put me somewhere else, you know, because he's the Prime Minister. Wherever he assigns me, I am willing to serve. Remember, my duty first and foremost is to the people of Tobago West who chose me to be their representative. So I have to be the very best representative that I can be. And then my business is to the government and the people of Trinidad and Tobago in my capacity as a Minister of Sport and Community Development. And if he changes his mind tomorrow to assign me to another portfolio, I get in there, whatever that portfolio is, and work with the technocrats and the experts in that specific area to deliver the best quality service and programs to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. It's all about doing your little part in your little corner to strengthen and make Trinidad and Tobago the best nation that we can possibly make it together.
Okay, so we are wrapping up. Thank you, Minister.
Excuse
I have a question.
Hold on. Please remember, when somebody is talking, you allow them to talk, and then I will give you the opportunity. So I need to ask Minister if she will allow just one more question.
I certainly will.
From Jaden, and then we will wrap it up. Okay, so Jaden, go ahead and ask your question.
Good afternoon, class, and special good afternoon to Honorable Minister Shamfa Cudjoe. My question to Madam Minister is, are there any resources in place where we as the youth can work alongside the professionals to help raise awareness about self-esteem?
To raise awareness about what?
Self-esteem.
Self-esteem.
Self-esteem. Okay. We have programs throughout different ministries. I know the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Youth also. And if there are community groups, like for instance, what Zakia is doing here, that have programs that they want to work hand in hand with the ministry, we can. For instance, when I was at the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs, the Ministry of Youth has a program called 40 Under 40, where we get young people to inspire the young people and to talk to them about building self-esteem and building self-confidence and so on. So we work with community groups, we work with schools also. You have guidance counselors and so on within your schools who help in that type of area. And you have groups, that also work with you to do that. You have Cub Scouts, you have police youth clubs, all supported by government also to help you in being the best person that you can be. And if a teacher or a community leader, stakeholder like Zakia and her team develops these plans, we are very happy to provide financial support, technical support, and work hand in hand with you to get that done. But I know at the Ministry of Education, there are several programs of that nature.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jaden. It was our first question from a boy this morning, so I'm happy that
Yes.
brave enough. So thank you, Jaden.
Minister, one more question. I promise you this is the last question. I absolutely, there's so much question coming in. And no, ma'am. Right, and I just want to invite the chairman of the Mia Regional Corporation, Mr. Raymond Kose. He has a question to pose to you, Minister. I just really want to permit him and allow him the space to ask you a question. And after that, we will wrap up. If there's any way, the other questions that I will probably try to get them onto you somehow. Yeah, Mr. Kose.
Thank you very much, Zakia, and pleasant afternoon, Minister Shamfa Cudjoe. I don't have a question, right? I don't have a question, but I just want to say a few things, right? Number one, I want to commend you on your deliberations this morning. Very inspiring, and you shared from your heart, which is truly awesome. I also want to share some, not all the things that I would say is really directly related to you, but and I'm not trying to put you on any spot, but I just want to share some realities, right? So we would acknowledge that we are in a different time now from how it was, right? And back then, all of our communities were truly active in sports. The grounds were filled, the recreation.
Excuse me, Mr. Raymond. This is not the forum for that. I will have to, I'm really, really sorry, but I have to really have to interject. And I'm really, really sorry. Very, very sorry. But this is not what Project Elevation is about. I don't want to take it there. I humbly apologize to you, Madam Minister, and I apologize to you, Mr.
So let me say, Mr. Raymond, what you can do at my MP page, send your concerns on my MP page to the email box there, and I can respond then, and we can, or you can send your number and I can give you a call there. Yeah?
So we have some discussions.
Yeah, I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Minister Cudjoe, for your time and for your willingness. And I deeply, really on behalf of my team, I really, really and truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I hope.
Thank you very much, Zakia. I appreciate being here this morning.
So I really hope we could probably work together in the future. Yeah,
Yes,
to continue building communities and youth. And thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you. All the best to you, and I wish you every success with Project Elevation. Hopefully, we can do more of this throughout the year, and not just in the July-August period. And to all the children at home right now who have tuned in, and all the parents who ensure that their children are participating, thank you, thank you, thank you. A little goes a long way. Let's stay positive. Let's stay united, let's stay strong, and remember to do our very best so we make it out of this COVID situation together and stronger than ever. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our nation. See you next time.
Bye.
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 Wow. So Yeah, you guys enjoyed the discussion, so I'll just invite Patrick just to bring the vote of thanks, and we will dismiss. Patrick?
Hi everyone, sorry about that. So on behalf of the project education team, we would just like to say thank you to everyone that would have been here today with us. It was really a very informative session, and we would like to thank the Honorable Minister, Madam Minister Shamfa Cudjoe, Minister of Sport and Community Development, Member of Parliament. We'd also like to thank the Chairman for joining us today, and also Ms. Sunita Prasad of SNS Prasad Supermarkets. Also, we would like to thank all of the relevant community organizations that would have joined us as well, and the representative from Unicoma Trinidad. We also would like to thank you all for the live audience for joining us as well. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys every Saturday. So, yeah, I would just like to say again, thanks for joining us, and this is the end of today's session.
Okay, guys, you guys are free to log out, right?